Mr. McCaig had a quiet influence on everyone.
Bud felt we all had a responsibility to do what we could to make the community the very best it could be.
He showed the way of how to act as a human being, to put his money where his mouth was, to act with kindness and generosity and thoughtfulness, passion, caring. And he just influenced everybody he encountered because of those qualities.
What he said he was going to do, he did. But the other thing, he always made sure he did it well.
He had such respect for people, all people. When he came to a game, there wasn't an usher or concessionaire or anyone here that didn't feel as important and as good as a player.
He never went out of his way to twist arms or to be too strong with people, but he always encouraged them, and he encouraged them by example.
He just was an amazing man. He always made you feel that you were the most important person in the world when you were talking to him.
Well, of course, many, many years of fond memories of Bud McCaig. Some of the ones that come to mind when I'm remembering the happy times and getting a happy thought in my head were when we'd be walking on Saturdays and Sundays, is when Bud was able to come with me, not in the middle of the week, but Saturdays and Sundays. We'd walk the same route, and we'd walk to the mountains on the Calgary Golf and Country Club, and every day he would pause and he'd say, "Look, Ann, look at the mountains." I'd be right beside him. I was right beside him every day, and he'd say the same thing. "Look, Ann, look at the mountains. Aren't we lucky?" And by looking at the mountains, just reaffirmed his belief in life, that life is positive, life is good. Even though there were times for Bud that it wasn't very good. But he did believe that.
In my mind, Mr. McCaig has done more for this community than anyone else I know, actually, in terms of giving to the community and the university and the health system. He served in voluntary positions on the Foothills Hospital, and then as the chairman of the board of the region, established the Calgary Health Trust, and continued as a philanthropist himself, helped us establish the McCaig Center for Joint Injury and Arthritis Research, and then with his donations helped us create the Bone and Joint Health Institute for the province.
Bud was a very good listener, and he had the ability to take other person's thoughts, mull them over, and digest them and come out with a better understanding of what was needed. He liked to be a facilitator, but he liked the others to be front and center.
We had a meeting of all of the researchers in bone and joint health in the province. Mr. McCaig quietly came into the room and sat in the back row and just sat there listening to all these research presentations for about 2 hours. And as the meeting was winding down, he gave a 5-minute inspirational address to these people that brought them to their feet spontaneously to give him a standing ovation for it. He told them he had hope for the future because of them. He believed in what they were doing. He believed that what they were doing was important and would make a difference. But he gave them their marching orders too and said, don't let down, carry on. It was almost as if he knew he might not be there to see it through. But he wanted them to know that he was with them and would support them wherever he was.
He had a philosophy that every minute was very precious in your life and you had to make the best of it. And that if you allowed sloth to get into the way of things, that you were going to get into trouble.
The people and the friends that he made, they'll remember his integrity, they'll remember the friendship that they had with him, and there'll be no one that golfed with Bud that won't remember a golf game with Bud.
But when it comes to Bud and his business prowess, his personal qualities, and his sports qualities, this guy really was legendary. My picture of Bud is emblazoned across my psyche. He's going to sit down, he's going to sip very slowly a glass of red wine, he's going to pick meticulously through buttered popcorn.
The hockey was so wonderful for Bud when he was ill last year. It really gave him something to live for. He loved that hockey team.
He drank in the games in every sense, the audience, staff, as I've said, and the game. He was a student of the game and probably could have been a teacher of the game.
He just wasn't an owner. He was part and parcel of that team, and a lot of that winning had Bud's heart in it. Well, it's wonderful to have this tribute to Bud, and the family certainly is very grateful. I think I want people to take away from this evening that Bud was a man of his word. Bud could be trusted. He especially was very concerned about the people that he worked with, the people at TriMac. He inspired them. He inspired them to always strive to do better.
Bud's biggest achievement was living a great life and being a role model for all of us.
He inspired his children to do better always and to take the high road. He certainly was a wonderful and devoted grandfather. I think the qualities that he's passed on to his grandchildren will be immeasurable.
Some of us will come and go and may or may not be remembered, but there are others who leave a mark on society or in a city or in a community or in a family that is indelible, and I think that's the right term.
Calgary's a marvelous place to live. I love Calgary. Bud loved Calgary. That's why he worked so hard for Calgary. He really felt that he had a responsibility to make this community the best it could be, to make the health system the best that he could make it be. And he worked very tirelessly to do that.
I don't know what it would have been like without Bud. We'll never know that. And we won't know in the future because his tracks will be here forever.
I think that what he's left behind in the Calgary community will be a benefit to all of us, and I think that would be the message that Bud would say. And I know he'd end by saying, there'll be brighter days ahead.